Hey, what's up? Ryan K here from Refer, and today we're going to continue our series on how to progress in your career journey, how to go on that career adventure and make it from one stage to the next. And that's really what this is about, is how do you get from where you're at to the next stage, that next job that's a step up, that's a level up, not just the same job somewhere else where they'll pay you more money, but literally progression towards that next job. Before we jump in, take a minute, subscribe to our channel, like this video. And today we're going to take a minute and step back. We started off with, how to be excellent at your job. And last time was how to do projects that will build up both your skill as well as proof that you can actually do what you need to do in that next job. So we're going to pause for a minute and say, hey, as long as we've done that, and each time we do that, we should update our profile. To me, my profile is kind of my player profile in this game that's called the career adventure, right? My profile is my resume. It's also my LinkedIn profile. It also might be just like the way I represent myself, the way that I explain what I do and what I can do. And so as you're going along, as you're becoming great at your job, you should stop and say, hey, am I being asked to do new things? Do I need to add these new skills to my resume and my LinkedIn profile? That's definitely a great place to start of adding those new skills. But as you're building out these kind of side projects, whether it's a side hustle, something you're doing at work on the side, something you're just doing literally on your own, or if you're doing it as a volunteer for a nonprofit or a small business, you want to continually update your profile. A great way to do this, it isn't just about, my resume is up to date in case I need to apply. We want to do it in public facing ways, right? Specifically LinkedIn. The reason why LinkedIn is so important as we're posting these status updates is that a lot of job seekers forget that LinkedIn is not their resume. That it's not the same thing. LinkedIn is a social network where you build up your network, and not just the number of people you know and the number of people you're connected to, but also your credibility with those people. So if you are a passive LinkedIn user, meaning you have a profile, but you're not actively, attracting new connections, well, then your value is stagnated. But even if you actively are engaging and adding new connections, but you're not actually engaging with those connections in a way that builds up your credibility, your street cred about what you can do, then you're missing out. One of the biggest mistakes I see is when I go look at somebody's LinkedIn profile, even if it's complete and they've done a good job of filling it out, is they never post anything. When they do post something, it's either I'm looking for a new job, or, oh, this job search sucks, everybody's being jerks, or I got a new job. And that's it. And those three posts add zero amount of deposits to the credibility or the value you have with your network. If you connected with me on LinkedIn, and I never see you post anything other than I'm looking for a new job, employers are all a-holes, and I got a new job, those three posts, while it may be nice for me to hear about them, they add zero value to my life, and therefore you're not increasing our network power. You're not increasing the individual power you have with me as somebody in your network. Now, if you instead start posting about something different, like for instance, hey, I'm building out this new project. I'm trying to learn how to use HubSpot marketing. Hey, I just finished this certification. Hey, that actually increases in my mind your street value and gives me ideas of places where you might want to work, right? So posting about that type of what you're learning also shows that you are continually learning and growing. When somebody's been on LinkedIn and hasn't posted for 2 years, I'm going to assume that they're just doing their job, and therefore they're not progressing. They're stuck in that same spot. And when they all of a sudden upgrade their profile, I wonder what that gap was. Show me the work. And so explaining, hey, I'm reading this book, hey, I'm learning this thing, hey, I'm doing this certification, hey, that's a great first step. The second step, okay, now I'm doing this project, hey, can I get some feedback? What do you guys think about this? Look at what I built. Hey, this is how it's working. Show your work. Those are great posts on LinkedIn that level up your credibility with the people in your network. It shows them what you're learning, which means that might lead to them suggesting or referring you to that job that uses that knowledge. And when you ask for a referral, into that job, having shown that work, especially when you're building skills and abilities that are not part of your current job, that then you're going to end up with this credibility gap. One way to overcome that clearly was take on the project so you learn it. And part of those projects, building proof or a portfolio and clearly being able to show the results, but publishing that information levels it up a notch. It involves your entire network, and asking them for help is a great thing to do, but more importantly, ask them for specific help. Hey, does anybody have a challenge with X? I'm researching about it. Do you have any great books? Specific help. Hey, I read this book. Here was some of the feedback. Here's what I took away. Where did I go wrong? What else should I have learned from this book? Ask for help. Hey, you guys, I'm building out this new project. I'm starting a podcast. I'd love to find somebody who's willing to be a guest on it. Specific help. Asking for general help will generally get you nothing. Asking for specific help of your network, when you've now involved them in what you're trying to do, will get you value from them in a way that also increases your credibility with them. And then finally, always post about your results. When you do something and it's a win, share the result. Now, clearly, if you can't share, because it's proprietary information, then you don't have to share exact information, but explain what you did and how it worked. This right here, super important. It's a humble brag. You're sharing about your project. You're sharing what the result of that project is. That gives you more credibility. And so just keep in mind your profile, your player profile. Imagine if you played through the game and you never leveled up. You never, ate that mushroom that made you big in Mario Brothers. This is part of the process, along with you building up your power, your powers at work, your powers to do the job, along with you doing these projects that internally says, I can do that job. You need to tell the world about it in a humble way, and involving them and posting updates and updating your profile, posting into different groups. If you're working on building marketing content for HVAC or plumbers, go find those groups. Post your findings in there. Post your knowledge in there. Share what you're learning and doing, and it will come back to you in the form of referrals. And that really is, this is the long-term strategy to getting referrals to that next job, is not asking for referrals, but sharing your knowledge, sharing what you're learning, sharing your projects, explaining the proof, asking questions, asking for specific help on those projects is actually more likely to get you a referral into a job than asking for referrals. I know it seems weird, it's counterintuitive, but it's actually the proven science behind it. So I hope this video finds you well. I hope that you're progressing in your career. If you have any questions or comments, go and leave them. I read all of them. Love to hear your thoughts and your questions. I'll probably answer them in an upcoming video if you post a question. So if you got a question, throw it in the comments. I'll post the update. Otherwise, we'll talk to you again later.